Help support the show by joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Also, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more Browns-focused content. All right, so how would a Myles Garrett trade affect the Browns' draft strategy in 2025 if they were to trade him? Now, this is just an exercise. I am not doing this because I think it is very likely that the Browns will trade Myles Garrett this offseason. I do not think it's likely. The reality of the cap ramifications for the Browns of trading Myles Garrett, the fact that the Browns would be better off being able to spend money in free agency and letting Myles sit the whole year. Myles has absolutely no leverage in this situation to be able to force his way. And the Browns would prefer letting Myles sit for a year as far as like their strategy and ability to build a team this year. Unless they get a Godfather offer from somebody, the Browns would prefer letting Myles sit this year and getting nothing out of him versus trading him because they would be able to spend more money. I think Brad Ward and Jack Duffin worked on the number, and the number's like $60 million in spending power the Browns would lose if they traded Myles Garrett this offseason. So they're probably not going to do it. But let's say they did, right? Let's say they traded him and it was for like a pretty modest offer here, right? Like a 2 firsts and a second from Chicago. Let's force this trade through. How does a trade like that change the Browns draft strategy? And is it more appealing than having Myles Garrett? Spoiler warning, the answer is no, but let's work through this exercise. And again, remember, mock drafts are not for prediction, but are just to have the exercise of, okay, if we have these picks here, how does this change our strategy based on who's available and what we think of the players that are available and their fit to the team? So let's get into it. Let's force this trade through, right? And let's start this draft. So we got picks 2, 10, 49 in the first next year. Cam Ward goes number 1 overall. Does this change what I do at number 2 overall? It might, right? Because now that there's no Myles, if somebody is willing to give me a 1 next year for 2, then I would take that deal. Now, realistically, I don't think that offer is going to be there. I don't think anybody's going to be willing to get off of 1 next year. Maybe like a team like the Patriots who have a quarterback, but I don't think New York's going to be willing to do that. I don't think the Raiders are going to be willing to do that. The reality is that this quarterback class does not look like it's going to be as strong as the next 2 classes that are going to come out of college football. And it's by an order of magnitude, it's going to be weaker. So teams' willingness to trade out of those first rounds are just not going to be high. Now, you could be the New England Patriots. Maybe you think you're Abdul Carter away from being a contender, and you're willing to send us a first, a second, a fourth, and a 2 for number 2, which would undoubtedly for them be Abdul Carter. If you're the Browns, you move back to 3 and you think to yourself, okay, well, they're going to take Carter. 3 is going to be quarterback. I could probably still get Travis Hunter if I'm at 4, or they're going to trade up to get Travis Hunter. 3 is going to be quarterback. I can get Abdul Carter here. So if this is the offer, if we're living in this world, and somebody wants to offer me this, and look, I'm going to finagle it a little bit to make this even more interesting because I want another top 100 pick in this year's draft. So let me try to see if I can get 77 out of them. I probably can't get 77 out of them. Let's see if they take that. They took it. Cool. Let's see who they take. They take Ted McMillan, Shador. All right, cool. I am doing backflips, sprints, and I'm taking Abdul Carter here. That'd be a pretty easy decision. Myles is gone. You need an edge defender. You're gonna hang on to Denzel Ward. We're gonna try to keep this boat together as well as possible. With that trade, I also picked up a second first-round pick. So now I have Chicago's first-round pick, New England's first-round pick, and a first-round pick next year. This is as close to fine I could be with trading Myles this year, right? You're still going to lose a significant impact. You're going to suck this year. But you have Chicago's first, and you have New England's first, which means, I mean, you got a good shot at getting like enough to get the number one overall pick if you need it without having to dip into 2027 and lose future first. Or you might just get it straight up off of one of these team seasons because, yeah, you're trading Chicago Myles Garrett, but like who knows if Chicago's actually going to be good even with Myles. So, yeah, if the Browns could finagle something like this for Myles and then a trade back from 2 to 4, I don't think you win that scenario. I don't think it's better than having Myles Garrett, but I can certainly find a way to be okay with it. Let's get Abdul here. All right, so we got Abdul. Travis went right after us. We're sitting at 10. We could try to just completely rebuild our defensive line, go after another edge guy like Mike Green. We could take Josh Simmons here, get ourselves an offensive tackle. That's what I would be leaning towards, to be honest with you, here at 10. You could get Ashton Jenney. I just think the running back class is so strong. And no, they're not going to be as good as Genty, but man, it's close behind him, to be honest with you. So, and Genty's special. I think Genty's special. I just think this class is special in total. So let's see what the trade offers are to move us off of this, right? It's Detroit at 28, Tennessee at 35, and Chicago at 41. Yeah, man, none of that's taking me off of just getting the best tackle in this draft, which is Josh Simmons. So I get to build a wall around whoever my quarterback's going to be in the near future. And again, I got those 3 first. I'm going to get I'm going to get a quarterback in 2026. So I feel good about that. So yeah, let me go get Josh and call it a day here. Let's move into the second round. Cool. So now I'm sitting in the second round. I got all these picks, right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 picks. I am not making 16 selections. Of these 16 selections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them are in the top 100. I'm going to try to offload some of these picks to try to get a top 100 pick, depending on how the board falls. But right now, I'm going to field some offers for 33 to try to see what I can get, knowing I have these back-end picks as extra incentive to give teams to move up and trade with me. So I got a tackle of the future. I got my edge of the future. We drafted a guard last year. We're going to sign a center in free agency. We got Wyatt Teller holding it down for the near future. And then we got DeJuan Jones as our future right tackle. So offensive line-wise, we're pretty set. Running back, we have some stuff to address there at running back. I'm thinking Devin Neal or my guy from Caleb Johnson. Wide receiver leaves something to be desired here. So maybe we address that more aggressively in 2026, given that it's just not feeling like the right time to pull the trigger at wide receiver. So right now, everybody I want, Omarion Hampton's there. I like Omarion, but I like Caleb Johnson just as much. I like Travion, Quinshawn, Devin Neal. Yeah, there's too much I like at running back to just take one here right now. So I'm willing to move back to 37 if the price is right for the trade. So Las Vegas, 33, 37. Let's see what we can get. Can we get 68? They don't want to give me 68. How about 73? They don't want to give me 73. What they want to give me 106? All right, let's work something out. Let's speak my language here. All right, so 68. I got 67. So I don't really care about moving up from there to there. But let's see if you want to move up from 77 to 68. And I'll move up from 94 to 73. And then let me move up from 165 to 106. You don't want to do that? All right, this is where these extra picks come in handy, right? Let's sweeten the pot. I'll give you both these 216, 217. How about that? That's gonna bring it above 50%. Cool. Let's offer the trade up. Okay, they don't want to do that. All right, let's add more back end picks. Let's just see if you want this shit. Well, actually sweeten the pot, right? 200, 204. And we'll give you 216, 217 actually. How about that? You want to take that? Okay, you don't want to take that. Cool, cool, cool. All right, man. You drive a hard bargain. I'll give you 192 and 200. How about that? Okay. You don't want to do that. We're starting to get out of range for me. But let's see. Let's go back to the original offer here, right? Where I'm just trading back to 37 so I can move up to 68 and up to 73. Um and let me move from 165 to 143. How about that? Yeah. And to sweeten the pot, I'll give you 242 and 217. So I really just need to get rid of some of these extra picks. Okay, you don't want that. Let's just go to the original offer right here. And then to sweeten the pot, I'll give you 242. Let's get this above 70%. If you don't want to take it here, if you don't want to take it here, I'll call somebody else. Okay. All right. So I had to play hardball with him. Moved up in the third round, basically. Got out the comp selection for 93, which was the big get. All right, cool. So I traded back a few spots to trade up later in the draft. We're back at 37. I also have picked 39. So I'm sitting pretty here. I can get whoever I want. And if somebody else wants to trade up, I am open for business in trading up. So Miami wants to trade up. Let me look at the board. I'm only 2 spots away from pick 39. So I know, okay, if there are more than 3 players I like available at this spot, I'm good. Caleb Johnson, good chance he's going to be there at 39. Who else would I have taken here? Any wide receivers? No second round wide receivers I see here. Tight end. Yeah, these are all, I would take them there. So we're pretty full at tight end. I just took a tackle. So I'm pretty set at the offensive line. Let me just look at best player available. Not really interested in Jade Burton here in a second. Yeah, we can move off this pick and we can move back pretty far, to be honest, try to get a haul. So Miami wants to move up to 37. Yeah, I'm open for it. Okay. They move up to 37-48. Let's see what we can squeeze out of this. They only have one extra top 100 pick. That's pick 98. I don't know if this is going to be the move for me, to be honest, right? Because are they even what they're willing to give me that? But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 selections. I really have no use for 114. So let's see what Tampa got. They got 83. I like 83 a little bit better than 98. Green Bay, what they got, 55 and 87. Philly, we're talking about late second. Nah, this is not going to be a very attractive offer. And in Jacksonville, that's early third. So let's circle back to Tampa Bay, 51, 83, 119 in exchange for 165 and a 217, 204. That feels fair. That feels fair, right? I'll give you 192 if you give me 156. All right. Let's do that. Let's do that. You don't want to do that? Cool. All right. Let's take out 156 and let's take out 192. Let's soften that up. What is up with the trade machine? It's not messing with me at all today. All right. How about 216? We're going to bring this above 80. Y'all bullshitting, man. Let me call somebody else. Yeah, man. Green Bay going to take this offer for what? 55, 87, and 80, 123? Yeah, I mean, it's not worth bullshitting with you, Tampa Bay. So let's go. Let's just take that. And I could take some shit off of here now. Like, I mean, I'll give up that. Man, they don't even want the extra picks. Yeah, we just gonna give this pick to Green Bay because you was bullshitting. All right. I mean, they will give me 160. I ain't got use for 160, bro. I mean, they gonna give it to me. You know what? For being a good chap, I'll give you 204. There it is. There it is, Green Bay. Thank you for being open to doing business. You beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that trade battle. All right, let's go draft the player here. We done moved back enough. Get Caleb Johnson here. We're just gonna get Caleb Johnson. Cool. All right, we're swinging back to pick 55. Remember, we got 2 second-round picks. So we've taken a edge, a tackle, a running back. We're sitting at pick 55 here. This is the pick that we traded back our original one a couple of times. So we got offensive line settled, running back settled, edges settled. Let's see what's available in the interior of the defensive line. Got Derek Harmon, Darius Alexander. What's my next pick? I got 67 to 65. So there's a chance Darius is there at 67, 68, where I would feel a little bit more comfortable taking him. You want to get a tight end? Let's get a tight end. We can get Gunnar Helm, Elijah Royal, Harold Fainant Jr. Pick your favorite color here. We can get a tight end. But again, I got 68. I'm probably going to get whatever tight end I want at 68. So I'm not really in a rush there either. Corner? Is there any corners? There are no corners that I would want to take in the second round. Safety, same situation. What about any edge defenders? Because if we trade Myles, we're going to need more than one. All right, that seems like a 2-year project. Cool. I mean, there's really no reason to trade this pick. All right, so I mean, you could get Essery if you wanted to get another guard here, just like straight value pick. He's a giant player, so he could be a big guard, be tough to throw over. I personally would probably prefer going Donovan Jackson here if I were to take an offensive lineman, big strong guy out of Ohio State. But I don't think I'm gonna go O line here. I might go D line. All right, so right now I'm between Chris Paul, the linebacker, and Darius Alexander, the defensive interior player. Tiebreaker is going to go towards the linebacker because it's just a more scarce class here. So let me go get Chris Paul here. Good run defender coming out of Ole Miss. Good pass rusher. And really solid coverage linebacker as well. 6'1", 235, so he's not super small. He gives you some insurance for JOK. Also gives you another linebacker to play opposite of him, so you can stop signing like 1-year duct tape solutions next to him. Let's go get a linebacker here. Let's get Chris Paul Jr. All right, we're sitting here at pick 67, and we have pick 68. I'm going to take a selection here at both because there's a bevy of players I like here. So I'm looking at Darius Alexander here, running back. I do want to get 2 in this class. RJ Harvey, Devin Neal, those are the 2 I have my eyes on. Quincy Junkins as well. You could get Travion Henderson too. But I'm probably going to save that one for 73. For 67, let's see if there's any wide receivers that flip me on this. Jalen Royals is okay. I'm not super in love with Jalen here. Tight end, I can get Gunnar Helm, Elijah Royal, Harold Fainant Jr. Given that I'm feeling like I'm going to have to replace David Njoku soon, I'm probably going to go Fainant here. And I would be happy to take him at the top of the 3rd. I know PFF has him pretty low here, but he's probably going to be a 2nd or 3rd round pick here. So I am Fainant here. Probably makes the most sense. If this were real life, if you're just trying to manipulate a mock draft and you want to go with the highest player that's ranked on the board here. But I'm going to try to treat this like how I would in real life. Let's go ahead, Harold Fainant here. And then do I want Darius Alexander? What do I feel about the safeties that are left? So Makuba, I like Makuba. I like Lathan. 73, I could go. I got tight end. So 73, I could go running back there. Let me get Lathan here. Let me get Ransom here. Let's get Lathan here. All right, yeah, there was a little bit of a run there on safety. So cool. All right, so we're at pick 73, and we're gonna see what running backs are available. Quishon, Devin Neal, RJ Harvey. Realistically, I could wait till 87, but if there's nothing that moves me off of running back, Darius Alexander is there. That probably moves me off running back. So I'm gonna take Darius, see what's there when I get to 67 at running back. Devin Neal's still here. RJ Harvey's still here. I'm sitting pretty. So Devin Neal has some potential here as a receiver. You would have to teach him how to pass block. I assume he's not a good pass blocker because he's just never been asked to. But really good zone runner. We're going to run wide zone. That's what we're running back to. Great gap grade, great rush grade here. Elusive, breaks tackles. We're going to go get Devin Neal to pair with Caleb Johnson and whatever we can get out of Nick Chubb for the rest of his career. And we're going to be happy with that. Cool. All right, so we're in the 4th round now, and this is where I start to evaluate just how many picks I have left, right? Because we're only in the 3rd round. We're not even in day 3, and we have selected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players, right? So I only really got room to pick about 4 more guys, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got a whole draft's worth of players here. So I'm going to start looking to move these picks either into 2026 or into 2025. Let's see what the board looks like, right? How confident am I in the board? I've been able to address so much in this draft, but let's see what the board looks like. How many players would I even be interested in drafting? So there's Kobe Bryant, who I'm probably going to take here at 102. That seems like the pick. In this scenario, you could go Will Howard here as well, which might make sense. So, yeah, Will Howard, Brian Stone. I'm tapped out at running back. Offensive line, I'm pretty tapped out. Yeah, I mean, Jalen Rivers. So I would like a couple more picks before 150. Right, I'm at 102, 103. So let's see if anybody is willing to move here. Let's start with New York. What's the price here from 103 for New York, right? 103 to 123. All right, so they're willing to move if we add some picks onto it. All right, so New York took this offer. We're going to get 103 for 123, 165, 200, and 257 again. Want to get rid of some of these later picks to move up into the early fourth, because I've already made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 selections. I'm really only trying to make 12. So the earlier I can make those selections, the better. And if I can make 10 selections within the top 100, again, it does not make up for having Myles Garrett. But, I can learn to live with it because not only do I have that, I like to remind everybody, I did get 3 first-round picks too in 2026, which should secure me a quarterback. I mean, if one of those picks just naturally secure me a quarterback, then I just hit the lottery. All right. But speaking of what to do here, I'm going to go Kobe Bryant, then I'm going to go Will Howard. Okay. And we're going to go all the way to pick 160. I'm probably going to take CJ West here, unless something moves me off of CJ West in this board. Probably not going to move me off CJ West. Yeah, so I'm going to go with CJ West. How many defenses interior guys did I get? Just 1? Yeah, I'm allowed to get 2. Let's go CJ West here. Again, we're trying to build this defensive line up after losing Myles. CJ West is an older player, but I think a good player. Let's get him. And now we're at pick 192. And let's see who we're going to take here. We already took a tight end. We could take Lecky. I like Lecky. Ricky White. It's a wide receiver you could take. No more running backs for me. I feel like people are going to be mad at me if I don't take a wide receiver here. So let me take a tight end. All right, cool. So I got Lecky here. I have the future secured. Had to trade Myles Garrett, but you tell me if you feel like this outcome would make you feel like it's worth it, right? You trade Myles for a first this year and a first next year, and then a second round pick this year. And then you trade back from 2 to 4, and you pick up a first next year, 77, and a second round next year. You move back to 4, you still get Abdul Carter, you get Josh Simmons, and then in the second round, you do a series of trade backs. So I went back from 33 to 37, picked up 68, and picked up 73 in for doing that. And then I went from 37 to 55, knowing that I have that pick 39 to get Caleb Johnson from Chicago. So I then pick up 87 and 123 and 160 from that trade. I then pick Chris Paul, Harold Fainton Jr., Lathan Ransom, Darius Alexander, Devin Neal, Kobe Bryant. And then I want to get pick 103 because I want Kobe Bryant and I want a quarterback from Will Howard here who I like. So I'm willing to give you 123, 165, 200, and 257 to pick up that pick. I get that pick. I get Will Howard. I get CJ West. I get Luke Leckie. And that is the outcome. I have 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks next year. So I have more than enough ammunition to go out and get a quarterback. And if one of those picks lucks in to a natural position to get the quarterback that I want, so let's say one of these picks gets you 1, 2, or 3, then all of a sudden you have a bunch of extra picks to get wide receivers and other skill players on top of the 12 top 100 guys that you just added with this draft class. Again, would I want to trade Myles Garrett? No. But if you were able to get lucky here, right, and the board falls the way that it does in this mock draft, and teams are willing to give you the kind of offers that they're willing to give you to move back like we did in this mock draft, this is a scenario that could pop up where you would be okay at the end of the day with letting go of Myles, understanding that at least you feel much stronger about your ability to build your future. The reason, again, I don't want to trade Myles this offseason is, one, the implications on the cap are just horrific for the Cleveland Browns. And two, it's not guaranteed that somebody gives you a bunch of picks to move from 2 to 4 and you secure 2 first-round picks next year. I wouldn't even think that it's likely. But if you could get it, if you could swing it, and you could maneuver the board like this and have this kind of an outcome, this is like how lucky you would have to get, basically, is what I'm demonstrating, or what got demonstrated in this mock. This is how lucky you would have to get in order for any type of trade scenario to work out in favor of the Browns if you were to trade Myles Garrett, right? Because having the extra first does give you flexibility to move back. All that stuff is still there. But that's just one way it could play out. I hope the Browns are able to work something out with Myles and they can sign him to an extension, because ultimately I think that's what's best for the team short and long term. But if they can't, this is just one scenario that we can run through. So let me know what you guys think of it. Y'all have a great day. Have a good night. Peace.